Welcome back. It is the Beyond Emissions podcast, brought to you by Soligent, your clean energy distribution leading clean energy distribution pioneering clean energy distribution since 1979. That's a long time ago, man. What is that? Let's see here. I just turned 47. I was born in 77. Oh my God, 45 years. So you're definitely partnering up with the right distributor if you're in the solar business, not just transactional. We are all about getting you a comprehensive solution, a bag of salad, not just a head of lettuce, right? You don't walk in to the store and be like, okay, for my salad today, let's just go ahead and go over here and grab a head of lettuce and we'll cut that up and that'll be the salad. No, we're all about creating comprehensive solutions for you so that you can make a difference for you, your customers, but not just the products, not just the materials, obviously energy storage. I'm Josh Brum, Energy Storage Manager here at Soligent and host of the Beyond Emissions podcast. Welcome here at the Soligent YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment down below. But also as well, we do energy storage, solar panels, obviously, right? Racking, inverters, electrical balance of systems, EV chargers. We have it all. So definitely we have all the materials and products that you need to be a success. We have it here. Great pricing, great service, amazing for you and your company. Again, we want to help you grow. Let's grow together. We have all of that. I think it's on another level. The Beyond Emissions podcast, we have experts from around the world coming on the program to educate you. This education is value that you're not going to get elsewhere. Other distributors in the solar business out there, God love them, they're kind of, sitting fat and happy and they've got it all figured out. And well, we're coming on your tails. We're going to earn business and we're going to earn market share and we're going to do it the right way, not just by providing the amazing products, services, comprehensive packages, etc., the bags of salad, if you will. We're also bringing you this kind of training, this kind of value, this kind of resource that no one else in the market is doing. And that is through podcasts, through training videos, but more from a communicative standpoint, more conversational. Less slide number one. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. If I have to sit through another slideshow, of something where half of it is just worthless to me. You know what I'm talking about, folks? You know that your time is money. And if you partner with Soligent on demand, you can go to the Soligent YouTube channel and learn anything and everything you might want to learn about clean energy storage. Go to soligent.net today to find out more. All the resources are there. We're here for you. Now let's go to something else. And that is financing. That's another topic of discussion I don't think we've gone through enough here. I think when I first started here at Soligent, we had a gentleman, Josh Tenali, a phenomenal guy. He was on our team and we talked all about financial options available here at Soligent, and a lot of things have evolved since then, right? Interest rates rising through the roof, that's one of them. And that, of course, is hitting the brakes on a homeowner saying, do I want to borrow? Don't I want to borrow? But I know my rates are going up. I need solar. I need storage, but can I afford it? What am I going to do here? One of the solutions to that is offering packages like standalone storage with little or no solar. You might not realize that qualifies for a 30% federal tax credit, standalone storage with no solar. You have emergency backup, but you also are able to take advantage, depending on the state you're in, charging up your battery when the rates are cheap and discharging to your loads when the rates are high and profiting the differential. Standalone storage, it cuts that amount you have to borrow in half and that barrier to entry for folks who want to save on their electric bill and not just be victims. You can help them with that. But again, that is a package. It's a comprehensive bag of salad, if you will. Here's a solution for you, homeowner. But still, rates are high and financing is, it's in the news every single day. What is the Fed going to do? And so Soligent went out. God, I love working for Soligent. What an amazing distributor. We're not just a distributor, we're a partner for you in the clean energy revolution. Skylight Lending partnered up with Soligent recently. And I'll let let Mitchell Shue from Skylight Lending go into it a little bit. But I'm so glad to have you here, Mitchell. Mitchell Shue with Skylight Lending. Welcome to the Beyond Emissions podcast, sir. This is a subject that is ripe for discussion. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, Josh. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the time to be on the Beyond Emissions podcast and being a partner with Soligent.
You feel my my vibe, right? It's like, did I describe that pretty much accurately? Like this little solar coaster everyone's been on, and now rates are going up, and it's in the news, and homeowners are wondering, should I invest? And there's different strategies like standalone storage, but financing options for all of those different strategies, comprehensive packages, creative financing, long-term financing. You guys really have a lot of different solutions that you've brought to bear. And I after reading up on and doing some research on Skylight Lending, I'm very proud that Soligent has partnered with you. Welcome to the show. Introduce yourself to our audience and a little bit about Skylight Lending and about yourself. Thanks for coming on the show, Mitchell.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, thanks for having me. A little background on myself and an intro of myself. My name is Mitchell Shue. I'm CRO of Skylight Lending and co-owner. Little background on myself: before becoming a partner in Skylight Lending, I actually was an EPC, so I was on the roofs in Texas. I was doing about 25 installs a week, and that's a big part of why we started Skylight, to just have the installer-centric mindset on the finance realm. My partner's been funding commercial PPAs nationwide, so didn't just jump into it from 0 to 100. We already had the financial background, and we were able to merge and make a residential platform. But a big turn of events that's happened, you hit it on the head, Josh, is rates changing significantly. And there's been a major increase over the past couple of years of solar, and unfortunately with COVID and the Feds having the interest rate, or deciding to have the interest rates jump up, drastically has either slowed down solar or changed the methodology being used to offer financing. And so a big part of what Skylight does is, again, having that installer-centric mindset. We do make sure we're constantly offering new solutions that are available. And one of the solutions you hit about is the 25-year standalone storage option, which I'd love to elaborate on right after, just kind of giving a little further intro. A big part of what separates us from majority of the solar lenders right now is we're about 2 to 7% lower than the standard solar lenders with a dealer fee model.
Wow!
And that breakdown is anywhere from $1,000 to $3,500 a job. Very significant when installers are either selling deals to homeowners or being able, you're either able to reduce that cost or able to absorb that cost where the market's at and be able to make yourself a little healthier company to be able to generate more leads, which entails into more jobs, helping grow your company even further. Not only are, only are we...
Yes, it was just an amen, brother. Yes.
Absolutely. Not only are we doing that, we are also approving about 20% more jobs than other lenders. And the reason that's the case is with where we're at with our financing, we're offering more competitive rates. So we became primarily our install partners' first looks. And so we're not, getting the second or third round deals. And so we actually have a very, this is kind of a more technical side, but just where the industry is at, I feel it's important to elaborate on. But being able to become a primary look, it makes us not have a lower FICO bucket. And just to be blunt, when we deal with bundling our loans, as any bank and lending company does, we sell, or a majority of lending companies, we sell them to banks and private equity companies and insurance companies, and they all expect a certain FICO average. And so most lending companies right now are starting to implement FICO buckets. And so that means they're limiting the amount of low FICOs they have. So they will say they'll accept a 620 or 680, but there will be denials all the way up to 720 just to make sure that they everyone stays at least hitting that FICO average, because if not, companies will not buy portfolio averages. And so with where our rate's at, it means we have not had to, we became our install partners' primary looks, and so we have not had to deny deals. And so all of our install partners are able to see about 20% more approvals than with the larger lenders right now that, again, we started about 3 years ago offering loans. And so we have drastically grown. But compared to the companies that have been around for 8-9 years on the residential loan side, they are really, really denying more and more jobs. And I'm sure more and more of you installers are seeing that. That's a big part of why we've also seen success. And then just as Josh hit on, something we've came out with that no other lender to date has is offering a 25-year standalone storage option with a warranty. And what that means is batteries right now, the battery life cycles typically go out anywhere from 10 to 12 years. And financiers, some will finance up to 25 years, but in my opinion, that's not ethical. Financing something that is going to run out, somewhere in between that 12 to 25 year term. Why pay for something that doesn't work? We have partnered with Fortress Power to offer a 25-year battery extension. And so by having that insurance built in ahead of time, which is very marginal cost, anytime that battery goes below 70% output efficiency or the efficiency that it should be, the battery is replaced all the way up to year 25. And so
now real quick, folks, I'm going to jump in. Beyond Emissions podcast, Martin Shue, Skylight Lending with us, partnered now with us here at Soligent. So listen up, folks. An opportunity for you to sell more and help more people with creative financing solutions available here at Soligent through Skylight Lending. I mean, phenomenal. And what he just said is Fortress Power, which, by the way, Fortress Power lithium iron phosphate battery systems are available here at Soligent, including their brand new Avalon system, high voltage, residential, phenomenal. Got load management built in. So when you add that into the mix, it's actually less cost per kilowatt hour than the competitors. And did I hear that correctly? Martin, you actually, or Mitchell, excuse me. I called you Martin, sorry.
No worries.
Martin, there you go. A shout out for you, my friend. So the fact is that 25 years is an amazing situation. So by the time it gets down to 70% of its original capacity at that point in time, if it's before 25 years, they'll basically step in. And explain that a little bit. That's pretty cool. And Fortress Power is available here at Soligent, folks.
Absolutely. So to be able to qualify for this program, you do need to be a Skylight Lending approved installer and also a Fortress Power approved installer. And again, the material is purchased through Soligent. But we have they have been able to come up with a 25-year warranty instead of their standard 15-year warranty. And so by adding in, purchasing it's between $2,000 and $3,000 by purchasing a marginal cost, which is not even where batteries are at right now. It's a fraction of the cost. And by purchasing that battery warranty extension, it goes all the way up to 25 years. And so exactly as Josh stated, if the battery starts producing under the 70% that they have agreed to, then a Fortress will ship a brand new replacement out to your house.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, folks, you can take advantage of this. Fortress Power solutions are available here at Soligent. Email me, storage@soligent.net today. And matter of fact, you're willing to do a training, and so is Fortress's team. So if you contact me at storage@soligent.net and you say, Josh, I'd like a Fortress Power / Skylight Lending training. Okay. That's how easy it is. And then I get Mitchell and Alex Lepore over at Fortress Power and Skylight Lending with Mitchell, and we get on a call together and we can train your team. I mean, that's pretty cool right there. You're not just being left out in the woods here. You have support, right, Mitchell?
Absolutely. Yeah, full support from our staff as well. And so for the install partners that are working with us and Fortress and Soligent, we have our operations hours that are always working for your sales teams at home. So we can always help getting your loans, the homeowners having signed loans. You always know if there's any stipulations immediately what's going on. So before you leave the home, and we want to make this a seamless process that is able to be a win-win for everyone. And that's why we've partnered with Soligent to have this direct pay solution and offer this 25-year extension. This 25-year extension not only it's a new solution, but a big part of why we came out with this is to help with areas that exactly Josh hits on all the time that need the energy storage. And that's for areas out in California that are moving to time of use and other states that will be following. That's for areas that are being incentivized by the utilities to offer battery storage and other solutions. For example, North Carolina just released they're offering up to $9,000 for having residential storage solutions.
Wow.
And so very incentivized right now, and by offering this 25-year loan offering with standalone storage, your homeowners are actually able to have a competitive price to just have standalone storage versus, only offering a 10 to 15 year. That monthly payment gets incrementally higher by having a 10 to 15 year. We're able to really stretch that payment out and make it affordable for your homeowner.
I could imagine if you stretch out, if you got a 25-year term, and you take that total principal and you divide that with the interest every year over that 25 years, your monthly payment is probably pretty low for most folks by the time you average that out, right?
Absolutely. Most people are shocked when they see that monthly payment.
Right. If the monthly payment is low enough, then that more than makes sense versus what you would pay to the utility. That's a big differential, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've seen a huge jump, and we actually just released this program over the last week and a half, and the amount of not only reception from homeowners and contractors, but other manufacturers that want to create this program because they see the value in it.
That's a good question. You've got Fortress on board. Are you able to give us any indication of the other manufacturers that are considering doing this as well?
As of now, I can just leave it at that. As of now, this is just a Skylight Fortress program. And so, who's to say others won't copy it?
Okay. And by the way, folks, again, Fortress Power Solutions available here at Soligent, and take advantage of the unique 25-year warranty extension that you can get for Fortress Power Solutions from Skylight Lending through us here at Soligent. Talk a little bit about that. You mentioned direct pay. That's a big advantage, isn't it? The ability to free up your not having to carry the inventory for your jobs and really freeing up capital and cash flow for business owners, right?
Absolutely. And appreciate that intro. Yeah, something that Soligent and Skylight has come together on is a direct pay program. And so a big part of anyone wanting to grow is cash flow. And so we have came up with a solution to cover all your invoices directly through Soligent. And that way you can grow to scale as large as you want to be. You can do 1 job or 0 jobs a month, 1 job a month, 100 jobs a month, and we'll cover the quantity or the invoices all the way covered through Soligent, and you will get the remaining at glass on roof. So this really helps with that scalability versus having to have a $50,000, $100,000 credit line, and then you have to pay that off, which takes time for the billing department to confirm, circle back, and clear everything. This is a way to have a scalable with no stop growth ability. And this is something that Soligent and Skylight has in all of our 14 states. We have 5 states that will be open in the next month as well, a couple months. And so this will be up to 19 states in the next 2 to 3 months.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And then also as well, higher approvals, borrowers, add household income, highest FICO of borrower and co-borrower. So although, like you mentioned, you explained why you have the 640 FICO and you don't go lower than that, and why in all reality, the folks that do end up having to basically deny a lot of people, but because you have it where it is, which is still a low number to help people, get over that barrier of entry to participate in solar and storage. So it's still very, very wide open to a majority of folks out there. Higher approvals, though, you have a higher approval rate, and I know you explained a little of this already, but Does that make it a lot easier for the salesperson at the solar company to have that conversation with a homeowner?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, a lot of the time, a biggest part of what we've seen in the past is when homeowners are in home is a lot of homeowners really want to go solar, but the biggest part has been getting them approved. They're all ready to sign up and go, but finance lenders have denied a lot of people in the past. And so from our credit criteria, what we approve, anything that hits that is always approved. And one thing I did want to pivot on while and Josh, I apologize for not getting this information to you earlier. We were a 640 that moved to a 670. And so that does start this upcoming Friday, but on Friday, anything 670 and above will always be approved, 100 out of 100 jobs. We won't deny any versus an extreme quantity of denials versus lenders that say they accept lower FICOs. They deny all the way up to 720 significantly. So you will see a significant amount of more, not only approvals for your homeowners, but also for your sales teams. And what this does for the installers is they're able to grow more, but also build up and be a little more aggressive, whether that's offering better pricing for your homeowners or better pricing for your sales organizations that are bringing the leads to you, just because you're having more deal flow come in versus the limited amount with the quantity or with where financing companies are at. They're having less and less approval. So this not only helps, make sure you land more deals, but it helps installers be able to be more aggressive by offering better pricing if they decide to go that route.
And I know a lot of third-party stuff, PPAs, lease offerings are out there right now to try to get folks to take advantage of solar. And in many ways, a lot of folks out there are using that as their crutch to make it happen. But I find that a lot of salespeople, my aunt, as an example, my Aunt Sue lives out in Hanford area in California, and she called me up and she goes, I had this guy call me up, Josh, and offered me this battery system solution, et cetera, with a PPA, and told me this makes sense because you don't have to put any money down whatsoever and you still get savings, blah, blah, blah. And it does make sense for some people, so I'm not downing it totally. It does make sense. But for her, she was talking to the guy who's just trying to close her, right? Just trying to win the deal.
Yep.
And this guy, when she asked, well, what happens if I need to sell the house, in 8-9 years from now, or it gets transferred to my son and he wants to sell it? And it's like, no, you have to, that whole time, that's all, you don't just get out of it. And the guy was just like telling her how, oh no, you get out of it. You just get out of it. No big deal. And it was like, wow. This is not a PPA. This is a loan, right? This is, what's the difference here? And am I barking up the right tree with concern for the PPA side of things and how that's sometimes explained?
Absolutely. And yes, and currently we are only a loan provider. Absolutely. We only offer 5 to 25-year loans. And to your point, Josh, you said it exactly right. There has been a switch, and if I was an installer, to continue having revenue driving, I would offer leases or PPAs to some homeowners, not to everyone, because there is some homeowners that it is a better solution to, whether that they don't have tax appetite. So if they're retired, so that means they're not going to qualify for the ITC.
Yes.
Plenty of people misinterpret that. Or if they unfortunately don't make, or if they just don't make enough income, then they likely won't qualify for the tax credit that their solar system has over 5 years. If you make $40K of income, you're only going to have 30%, or you're only going to qualify for about 20%, 25% of that is what you paid in taxes. And so that means you'll have about 8 to 10 grand. Sometimes that can be the full amount that you need for your 30% tax break, but a lot of the times in those in certain homes with lower income, the energy efficiency is not up to par, and so you typically need a higher solar system in those areas, and so that means the ITC amount is larger, and typically those people aren't getting to get the full tax break that they should be. And so in either one of those two scenarios, I think it's reasonable to offer that. But right now there's a lot that's going on. I see that for sales orgs and sales reps, I see the reason they want to sell that is because currently you can offer it to homeowners for under their monthly payment. And that is in under where loans come out to be. But the downside of that is these organizations, not everyone, but most of these organizations are only presenting one solution to the homeowner. And most of these homeowners that sign up have the appetite for the tax, for the ITC, and they are unaware that they're not, when they sign up for a lease or PPA, that they aren't owning the tax appetite. So that is one downside to me, that this is not communicated, that these homeowners signing up for this lease and PPA program will not qualify for the tax program. It will be the third-party company that owns it on their roof. The second thing that's not being discussed is while it may be cheaper this year, within 3 years, there's an escalator on these loan or lease and PPA programs. So while it's cheaper this year, in 2 to 3 years, they will be paying more than they're paying on that locked-in loan price for the next 22 years of that lease. So while it's good for a homeowner year one,
Ouch.
They don't have the homeowner's best interest for the remaining 23 years.
Ouch. Ouch.
That's an extreme negative downside. The third is, this is something that I wish wasn't the case, but appraisers right now don't have to approve the valuation of home from solar. They don't have to, which is unfortunate. That will change. But right now with leases and loans, with leases and PPAs, appraisers, this is a discussion nationwide, appraisers are evaluating homes with a negative equity if you have a lease or a PPA on your roof. So you can, when they do that, you can still request a third party, an additional appraiser. But right now, it's being communicated that by having a lease or PPA on your roof, it can negatively impact your home's equity. None of this is being discussed with homeowners.
That's exactly what happened with my Aunt Sue. Mitchell Shue with us from Skylight Lending. The Beyond Emissions podcast brought to you by Soligent. Skylight Lending, now available, partnered with us here at Soligent. Contact us at soligent.net to find out more, folks. That's exactly, Mitchell, what happened to my Aunt Sue. And you're absolutely right. There are customers out there where that makes sense. They can't take advantage of the 30% federal tax credit. They have low income up front. They know they're going to be, they're not planning on moving and they're going to be there forever. There's lots of different reasons why that might make sense. But I think it's being pushed almost in a predatory fashion. Like I mentioned with my Aunt Sue. She wasn't told any of those warnings about it. She was just told how great it is and how you don't have to pay anything up front. And it's just, strawberry jam and it's like a freebie fest. You know what I mean? I think that's the key right here is we've got you on the Beyond Emissions podcast, Mitchell, and we're actually able to hear the truth. And by the way, a majority of folks out there are doing a great job in this business when it comes to explaining stuff. I just want to make sure that our homeowners and even our installers that are listening right now, that they're aware of what those red flags are. And thank you very much for bringing that to light, man. I mean, isn't education so important? That's why you're on the show. Knowledge is power. And the more knowledge people have, the more powerful they are and empowered they are to make the right decisions for them and their business and their customers, right?
Absolutely, and I appreciate you having me on again. And one thing I didn't mention is I know you said your Aunt Sue unfortunately had a scenario that was improperly informed, and a big selling point was no upfront cost. That is actually the same scenario with a loan or PPA or lease. You have to put nothing up. You have zero upfront cost with the loan as well, and so we require the same, but you get to keep the tax appetite. You don't have a third-party company trying to manage the production. That's something else we didn't hit on is while you don't own the, by not having that liability, by not having the loan, by doing a lease or a PPA, a third-party company owns the system on your roof. And if a couple panels get down, how long is it going to take them to actually get an installer out there? I mean, yes, it is on them to get that done, but I mean, it could be if an installer decides to not go. I mean, they're not installers. So it's some financer or some equity company that ends up owning it that they're trying to get an installer out there. Or, some of these PPA and lease programs right now specifically are behind millions of dollars to installers and certain supply houses. And so one way or the other, never want to downplay any finance round, but it doesn't seem like all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed right now.
Right. We're just educating you. That's all we're doing. We're educating you. We're not talking down. There are customers where PPAs make sense, but we can all agree that it doesn't make sense for 75% of homeowners out there. And I've been seeing sales organizations leading with it like it does make sense for everybody. And so just like sizing energy storage, it's all about customization. Customization is also key, which I love the flexibility that allows customization for folks with Skylight Lending. Talk a little bit about that. Flexibility, customization, that flexibility that's offered with Skylight Lending through us here at Soligent, it's on another level, right, Mitchell?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we really do give not only the homeowners but also the installers flexibility. And so we have anywhere from a 5-year term to a 25-year term available, and 499s all the way up to 1099s. And so we have 499s, which is below the Fed's interest rate. And how we're able to offer that is you have a buy down rate. You buy down the interest rate, and it adds a little bit to your package price, or a certain amount to your package price. So we go all the way up to a 1099, same as cash, with no fee associated on. And so we give you as an installer to show this to your homeowner and say which option is best for you.
How fast is the turnaround to get approved? Are they filling everything in, signing on the dotted line, and then waiting to hear back a week or so, or is it pretty quick? What does that look like?
Yeah, great question. So we have built our own proprietary software, and you have everything done. If you start the prequalification process to loan signing, you're done within 5 minutes.
Wow.
It's the soft pull happens on a prequal. So when you're filling out the prequalification, it's very basic information: your first name, last name, email address, phone number, and then we do ask for the Social Security number. And then once that is pre-qualified through Experian, is our primary. We use Experian for our credit bureau. And so you can have all of the other credit bureaus locked. So, you can have TransUnion and Equifax locked, just so you don't have to have all the credit bureaus open. I know some homeowners and installers have that blocked. We're able to isolate that and only use one bureau. If Experian doesn't pull it up, we also have a secondary option with TransUnion that we can pull. But this is a soft pull, so it does not affect your credit whatsoever. And if you decide to move forward, all you have to do is click Start Signing Loan Docs after your pre-qual approved. And that is when your hard pull happens, and the loan docs just takes a couple minutes to run through. You will obviously take as much time as you need to. We never want anyone to rush through, but you can get through it if you decide to get through it in that short interim. Very, very quick, but it has everything spelled out wide for you on our truth in lending statement, on the loan docs, and as soon as you're done with that, it's on. We have the notice to proceed granted immediately, and you have your installers that are able to start your permitting process.
That's what I'm talking about. If someone makes the decision to make this investment, the last thing in the world that a solar company or someone who sold the deal and is going to go install it, the last thing in the world you want to have is like any delay whatsoever. Well, we all know this, right? From a sales standpoint, it's psychology. For example, Mitchell Shue with us here today with Skylight Lending, now available through Soligent. Go to soligent.net to find out more. You're listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast by Soligent. I'm Josh Brum, your host. The entire approval process is so. What was I talking about, Mitchell? Forgive me.
No worries. We were going over the approval process for homeowners. It takes about 5 minutes to go from prequalification to loan signing, and we didn't. A big part is not having to come back tomorrow or getting information the next couple of days. They're able to do everything in fruition and not have any delays. And a big part for your installers is they don't have to leave, or they don't, when they leave the home, they aren't finding out that as a lender, we have additional stipulations. They figure it out at the home, and they're able to resolve those stipulations before they leave, so there's not any hurdles delaying your permitting being done in your install. The installers are able to get everything done before they leave your home, have everything notice to proceed, signed off, and they can start the permitting process to make sure you as a homeowner don't have frustrations with permitting delays or anything, because you do want those solar panels starting to produce with the sun starting to come out more in the summertime.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. The psychological, the weight. That's what I was going to say. Thank you very much. You're my memory and a partner here with us here at Soligent. Thank you so much, Mitchell Shue. Okay, so you and I'm not going to go off on and this is Beyond Emissions podcast. Forget what I was talking about again. You go around, psychologically, you go around the grocery store and you put something in your cart on aisle 1. And then by the time you get to aisle 9 or to the checkout, you're like, oh, I don't really want that anymore. And you take it out. So between aisle 1 and aisle 10 or checkout, that's a lot of time to start thinking about things and second guessing your decision of putting it in your cart. And so if it's taking too much time to get something approved or financing, too much back and forth, psychologically, it can cause a delay to where it gives too much time for that homeowner to second guess their decision. And
spot on.
Does that happen a lot where installers lose deals because of, that principle?
Absolutely. Installers lose deals 100% because of that. If you have to go back the second time, it's 50-50 if you'll get the deal closed, 100%. And the other part of it is it makes you as an installer or a homeowner, or it makes the homeowners feel like the system isn't, like you're not working with a qualified installer if it takes multiple days and, hey, you said everything was good, but now you got to come back to get something closed. This is a $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 system a lot of the time. And you want someone that knows what they're doing and working with a quality system that works and goes from A to Z as it should. You don't want to go from, go one step forward and take 2 steps back. That's a bad sign to a homeowner that's working with an installer. That is, they look up to you. They look up to your advice. And so when you work with companies that make you look like you don't know what you're talking about, absolutely negatively impacts your deal flow.
Do you talk with the customers directly, the homeowners directly, or are you working through the installer primarily? Is the installer presenting everything and you're just kind of working with the installers, or do you directly talk with the homeowners yourself? And thanks for sharing this with us. It's nice to get it behind the scenes. Thank you so much, Mitchell.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Josh, thanks for having us. We do both. So majority of the time we work through the installer, and so it has to be a Skylight Approved Installer that goes through our underwriting approval. We vet to make sure they're a quality installer. With a couple just proprietary information that we use. But once they are an approved installer, someone trying to get a hold of me. Do you mind running by that for me? I actually got distracted too. My apologies, Josh.
No problem. Hey, you know what? And I'm getting older too, Mitchell. So I'll blame it on that.
Well, no. But I definitely do want to apologize for looking at my phone at that time. Definitely got distracted right there.
Oh, no, it's all good. I honestly think that we're all addicted to it. We can't help it. Like literally, I was just kicking back on my couch the other day and I had my phone there and I caught myself just clicking it to look to see if there was anything there within like an hour, probably like 20 times. Like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Agree with that. Is Me personally, it was it was a hard thing to do, but I actually got rid of my social media besides LinkedIn just because I was on it 24/7. And so, for us to be able to continue offering competitive pricing and just know what's going on in the industry, I need to make sure that I'm not scrolling through my phone 24/7. And I did notice that was a big issue, and I hate that was the case. But I do want to apologize again.
No apologies, man. We're human beings. And that's the thing is, I'm not going back and editing this show. This is a human being show. And I think people need to remember sometimes that, we're not in a transactional business, and the companies that are, they're looking for short-term instant gratification. Let's see how fast we can scale it. Get across on the kitchen table and close some deals. Like, no, that's called car sales. That's called used car lot sales. And we're selling to human beings, and people buy from people that they like. And one of the things I love about this program is we're real. And I'm telling you, Mitchell, we're all going through that right now. We're all hustling. We're all trying to make it happen. And when you look at the listener that's listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast, by the way, listeners, thank you for listening. When you look at this listener, this type of person, they're running a business. They're on their phone trying to juggle their social media for work, trying to make sure that they're, not missing a potential, because everyone's communicating this way. Targeting their customers on social media, so they have no choice to be there all the time. And the cool thing about it is we just both admitted that we're not robots, that we're human beings too. We deal with the same thing that they're dealing with. You know what I mean? So we're all on the same page. No apologies. But I love your focus, man, and I love what you bring to the table and your passion. So you are talking to homeowners somewhat?
Yes, I'm sorry. My apologies. Yes. And so everything is ran through the installer. Like I said, as we get them approved through Skylight, we train their admin team, their operations team, and their sales organizations as much as possible, many times as need be, to make sure they know how to walk the homeowner from pre-qualification all the way to loan signing. And so there is a pre-qualification on screen if a homeowner is in home with the sales rep or with the homeowner, or there is invite the borrower by email with a pre-qualification on screen. Just so, homeowners, if they're not with the sales rep, there's no reason for them to share Social Security. That's private information. We don't want someone keeping that and trying to run it on other deals. That's actually been problems with other lenders in the past, and so we're isolating those issues. And so by having the sales reps trained, they can properly run homeowners through the process efficiently, instead of having to train each homeowner, because each homeowner, it only happens typically once, maybe twice if you have an additional home. And so if there is an issue, we have our support line for homeowners as well. And so we have very rarely, just because our install partners are trained so well, but very rarely we will have homeowners call in and ask just for walkthrough, and we have our team available through our closing hours, and then we have our team that's available for reps that are in home all the way through late evening, just because we know most deals are ran after people get home from work, which is typically, through that anywhere from that 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. range. And so we have our team available for your reps through that time, and through when homeowners are calling in through that time.
And then, monthly payments, I'm going to pivot back again. Monthly payments, very low. If you can pick the creativity in which term you're going to choose, right? All the way up 25 years, 5 years to 25 years. That's pretty cool. But let's just pretend for a second. Forgive me for putting you on the spot. Grab a calculator or turn your calculator on your phone if you need it, or if you already kind of have it in your head. It doesn't have to be exact, just ballpark. Let's just for humoring the situation. Let's hypothetically say that I have great credit, 4.99%. What term would that be for? Maybe 10 years, 10 years, 15 years, 10 years, 15 years. What's your average term that people choose?
Yeah. Well, great question. I'd say Well, you presented one option, so I'm going to run down that example and then also give you another example as well. And I'll probably lead with the other example if you don't mind.
Yes, please. Yeah, because I want people to see what would my average payment be. Let's say my system installed is $40,000. Let's just say, again, I'm just picking a number. Let's say it's 40 grand, and let's say that is a 40 kilowatt hour battery system. So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So kind of to answer that question real quick, and I'm pulling up our loan calculator just so I can give you an exact as well. But what we've seen statistically in America is most Americans care about the lowest monthly payment. That's their first primary source or their first primary care. Yes, they care about interest rates and the package price, but most people's first deal or no deal is based upon where that monthly payment is. Is it under my current monthly average or not? And so that's why most people end up picking the longest term with the lowest APR, because that results in the lowest monthly payment. So most of our accounts that we see will end up picking the 25-year 499, which results in the lowest monthly payment. You will have some homeowners that will also go and pick that higher APR option with great credit because they think that they can refinance with a bank that they have with a lower APR, and so that route I'd say is probably done 10 to 15% of the time, because that way you don't have a fee added on to your price, and for having that, for not buying down your interest rate. And so by doing that, you have a straight same as cash option with that higher APR, and they can just go to their local bank later down the road and refinance it. That's probably about 10 to 15% of the time. Most of the time you're seeing people pick that 25-year 499 because they want the lowest monthly payment. And so if you're looking at about a $40,000 payment, the monthly payment for a homeowner is around $168 on a 25-year 499.
And if that customer, again, I'd say it's 40 kilowatt hours, of storage, and then you got your PV array 40 divided by 5 hours of peak sun, 8 kW plus maybe a kW added for inefficiency, so call it 9 kW of PV array. Yeah, so you could literally have your PV array and a battery system and an inverter, and it may not take you totally off the grid or what have you, but it's going to offset a lot of your expensive usage and give you emergency load battery backup, all for like $168 a month over a 25-year period. And if you go with a company like Fortress, who is connected and tied in on a program with Skylight Lending, Fortress powers energy storage solutions available here at Soligent, you can get that 25-year warranty, an extension to have 25 years for a warranty to cover it. So they'll take care of you once it hits the 70% of its original capacity, basically. Wow. That's phenomenal, dude. That is...
It's
wow.
Definitely a game changer. To me, there really wasn't a reason to offer 25-year loans, and so we wanted to make sure that to be able to have that competitive pricing for homeowners that either already had solar or were able to just store power from batteries. They're able to just make it doable for them on a monthly payment with a 25-year program. But to offer that, we knew we needed to match it with that warranty. We would never want someone making a payment on a loan and the product stops working up to year 12 or year 15. And so that's why we've gone out and found that partner, and Fortress has truly been a great partner to be able to release the solution with. And so, again, this is at Soligent, being offered at Soligent through the Fortress and Skylight Power Path program. You do, to have this 25-year extension ability, you do have to apply and be approved through both partners.
Yeah, and don't forget, through Fortress Power as well, they have Energy Broker, the Energy Broker program. So in addition, you can sign up for the Energy Broker program with your Fortress Power energy storage solutions available here at Soligent. And through that Energy Broker program, you could take advantage of depending on the state you're in, the virtual power plant offerings to get paid additionally, quarterly, a check written to you by Fortress Power. So that's also a part of the mix as well. Again, go to fortresspower.com, look up Energy Broker, and you're going to love that program. So if you get Fortress Power's equipment, like the new Avalon, that's more efficient, and overall a better system than a lot of systems out there because it's got load management built in, which helps the efficiency and longevity of the battery in its performance overall and life expectancy. That right there is huge. So you get an amazing product, saves you money, has backup. You can get a 25-year warranty with that if you're participating with Skylight Lending. And then also in addition, let's see here, 25-year warranty and a 25-year loan. So it actually matches the life expectancy of the system. That used to drive me nuts when I would see that someone's only offering 4,000 life cycles and a 10-year warranty, and I divide that by 365, and I'm like, so on 10.95, year 10.95, it's going to be, 70% of its original capacity. Yet the ROI presentation that's being given to homeowners is showing this as a lifelong battery, right? Not telling them in year 12 you really need to get another battery. That's not being honest, is it?
No, it's not. Another big part of why we partnered specifically with Fortress is not only is the system, it's an AC/DC coupled system, and so you can go either route with that. But you also, when I was an installer, I was commissioning multiple batteries. Some would take 2, 3, 4 hours. No joke. I had master electricians walk off site saying they would never install certain batteries because of the time frame. And Fortress Power takes 5 minutes to commission a battery. And so that really saves labor for your installers too. It's unreal the amount of time it saves your installers.
Saving in labor, saving in time, flexibility on all of your options, direct pay, cash flow for you and your business, not having to carry the inventory, 670 FICO scores. Approve those deals, man. Approve more deals, make more sales. Great rates, flexible financing, 5-year term to 25-year term, 4.99 up to 10.99, very flexible, buy-down opportunities. They use Experian, so it's a soft pull where they isolate just that, and it's a soft pull for your pre-qualification with Skylight Lending, available here at Soligent. That way it's not hitting your credit report. Approval in about 5 minutes. Become a Skylight Approved Installer today. Get trained up on how to walk the homeowner from pre-qualification to signing the approved deal. Partner up with Skylight Lending, Fortress Power, and us here at Soligent. Did I hit all the big points?
I think you did. We're, again, just to reiterate one more time, it's about 2 to 7% lower in financing, which comes out to be about $1,000 to $3,500 a job, whether that's you pass that on to your homeowner or be able to build that into your company and make yourself a stronger company. That's point number one. Point number two is 20% more approval. So if you're doing 10 jobs a month, you're seeing an additional 2. Very, very healthy for the balance statement. Increase compared to where it's at right now. Number 3, communication. When I was an EPC, yes, when you're at home calling most of these finance companies, they answer immediately. But when you're emailing them for support, whether it's for getting funding done, because cash is king, or whatever scenario you're having, it could sometimes take 2 to 3 days. Us at Skylight Lending, we have everything done within 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, and that's faster than when I went to go buy my bed at the mattress store.
Well, we appreciate that. So we are trying. But yeah, so that's a pretty quick run through. We have direct pay with Soligent, so you can grow as much as you need be. We have API integration. So when you're using design software, you can close deals in home running it through the same design software through Skylight as well. That way, you don't have to have your sales reps and sales organizations having multiple web pages up. It's a seamless process from your proposal software.
Ooh, although I'm not an installer and I'm, working here to support the team and support companies, as storage manager at Soligent, I'd love to learn more about that on the proposal building side and really being able to recommend that to people. So let's touch base after this. And I think it might not be a bad idea to do a like a webinar for Soligent customers as well. I think this is an amazing resource available and fantastic job. Thank you for partnering with us and fantastic job explaining all of this for us today, this additional value that we can offer folks. Thank you, Mitchell. Appreciate it.
Of course, yeah, absolutely, Josh. Appreciate you having me, and we are looking forward to continue growing with Soligent as one of our direct pay partners and one of our primary partners. And so nothing but the best things to say about Soligent and Josh. And so, again, we appreciate y'all having us on here.
Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. Let our listeners know, how can they reach you, Mitchell?
Either by email at mshew, which is my last name, so MSHIEW at skylightlending.com, or at at my operations line, which is 205-391-8924.
Hey, go to skylightlending.com today and check it out. Follow up with us here at Soligent at soligent.net. Mitchell Shue, Skylight Lending. Thank you so much. Hang on the line for engineers, and we'll definitely have you back, okay?
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you so much. Mitchell Shue, Skylight Lending, a partner with Soligent, your clean energy solution distributor, pioneering clean energy distribution since 1979. I'm Josh Brum, energy storage manager here at Soligent. Thanks for listening to the Beyond Emissions podcast at the Soligent YouTube channel. Have a great day.